say Tia. Tia is from Vintage Ice. She has a beautiful vintage ice cream brand called Esther. Can you just give us a little bit of a background of how long you've had Esther and where you found her?
I've had Esther for 18 months now, and the reason we got her is because we were working in a chateau, and obviously with having a 3-year-old, that's not really conducive into doing times around him.
Yeah.
So we left. My husband can turn his hand to anything, so I decided, well, what should I do in a foreign country where I don't speak most of the language, and it's like a food truck. So I put out there on one of the different many Facebook pages that are out there, what's missing in the food truck market. And my friend tagged me in the post for Esther, saying that she's for sale. And I went down and saw her and brought her, fell in love with her, basically, and said I had to have her, hand on heart.
And the colours that she is. And you said that you can tailor everything, like your bunting, your flowers, and you speak to the couples first and find out their colours and tailor the bunting to the needs, so you can make it all fit into their theme.
Yes, absolutely. I try and make Esther fit in as much as possible. So I try and match the bunting and the flowers to the colours that the bride and groom or the couple are using. I also personalise all my chalkboards to their new married name, and it has a personal list of all the different flavours that they've chosen for the guests. And so yeah, I try and make it as much about them as possible, and I'm just basically in the background if they want to take pictures, and they can even, if they want to, come on the van and try and pour themselves a Mr. Whippy if they want. So that'd be
quite a nice wedding photo, wouldn't it, actually? That's the good thing about Esther, because she's so beautiful to look at, and the way she's designed, and she's such a colourful thing that actually she's great having such a, especially if you're having a vintage wedding as well, you kind of to have some pictures with her in the background. It's a really nice thing to have. So tell me a bit about what kind of flavours that you offer. I know you do different types of ice cream as well, so yeah, what do you do?
I do everything from honey and lavender to different alcohol ones like gin and tonic, or
they go down
vodka and orange.
Yeah,
vodka and orange.
Oh,
get yourself an old vodge.
Rum and raisin, that's one of my favourites.
Rum and raisin, yeah, we do rum and raisin, and rum baba as well. We also do garden variety ones like cucumber and lemon. You can get a strange one which is olive oil, which I don't know how that would quite work, or tomato and basil, which is quite a nice ice cream as well. I also do sorbets, so there's you can get your traditional coconut. Mango is quite a popular one because it's quite refreshing on a hot day to cut through. Lemon as well. So there's all different types of ice creams that I can get for you.
Oh, you can. So if you when you have a chat with the couple beforehand, you sit down and kind of tell them what flavours there, and then just pick a certain amount for them, and they can choose what kind of flavours they'd like to have.
Yes, so the Mr. Whippy, the 99, is always vanilla. So there will never be an option for vanilla, because that is vanilla. But with the traditionals, they have about 40 different flavours of ice cream that I send off to them as a list to choose from. And then when we talk, we can go down, and even if they're in France before their wedding, and we can meet up, we'll meet up and they can do tasting and everything else of the different ice creams that are on offer. Yeah, and what I've just started doing now is Skyping the couples a few months before, so that I know where we're at, they know where they're at with me, and we can go through more details, and I get to pick up their personalities as well, so they might get something extra thrown in there and stuff. So nice. Yeah.
And you were saying that you do vegan, gluten-free. You can kind of tailor it to any dietary requirements that are needed.
Yeah, because with myself being gluten-free as well, so yeah, if they've got vegan at the party, then yes. I can advise them which sorbets actually are the best ones to go for as well, because some of the sorbets are not vegan friendly. And gluten-free, yeah, I do little pots so that we stick away from the cones, and yeah, I can cater for the different dietary requirements that are there.
And what about things like nut allergies and stuff like that?
Nut allergies, I try and not offer any of the products with nuts in,
Okay.
apart from the pecan one, because cross-contamination can be quite hard within the van. So the sprinkles is usually chocolate or the little coloured flakes.
Yeah.
I never have nut sprinkles or anything along those lines. And yeah, as I say, I try and stay away from nut ones where the ice creams are concerned.
And that's something you can obviously speak to your couples about and find out if anyone that's coming has a nut allergy, to make sure you don't bring any pecan that day, or, you know, just make sure there's nothing that's gonna. Do you have a specific time that you recommend, or do you go at different times? And how long do you stay when you go?
Time is really dependent on the couple, of when they want me to be there, and I usually spend about 4 hours there with them, serving ice creams and stuff. So, I mean, I've had couples have me from 11 till 4, 4 till 8. I've also had one couple that had me from 12 midnight till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so you're quite flexible there.
Yeah, so yeah, I am very flexible in the times that I do for the couples and everything else. So yeah, it's their day, so it's what they want me to do for them, to make it more pleasurable for them and to take the stress out of it, really.
Yeah, and it's nice, I suppose, in the evening, because it can still be quite hot, can't it, at night? And everyone's dancing, they might just want to cool down and have some refreshments. Do you do other things other than ice cream? Do you do drinks as well and stuff like that, or is that separate because when it's a wedding with the venues?
Yeah, no, that's usually separate. I'm usually just the core ice cream, basically. But I mean, if couples wanted like little fruit pots, to make a change of an evening, I can do Mr. Whippy with fresh fruit pots and everything all set out and dressed out on the table for them to come and pick and take away and eat, and whilst they dance and everything else. So yeah, it's all dependent on what people want, basically.
Oh, fantastic. And what is your kind of package like? So do you obviously don't charge necessarily per ice cream because it's the wedding? Do you kind of do like a minimum booking? How does that work?
Yeah, there's a minimum booking of 40 people per event. I travel up to 3 hours within my zone, because obviously Esther, she's quite old and she only does 70 kilometers an hour, which is about 45 miles an hour in real terms.
So it takes a while to get there.
So I do a 3 hour radius from within us, but we can go further, but it just incurs costs because we have to then hire trailers and things to put her on.
But based in 86, is that right?
Yeah, I'm based in the 86, but I do cover 37. I do cover parts of the 87, which is, so I cover basically the Disserve, Haute Vienne, the Vienne, the Loire areas. So it's quite a big, wide-ranging area that I do actually serve. Sorry?
Does that include the Dordogne and areas like that?
At the top of the Dordogne, it can do, yeah. But again, I think with that going down, I probably have to hire a trailer for her.
Yeah, and it's quite, you know, you think, oh, the Dordoigne's not that far, but actually it can go on for about 6 hours. So it's very big.
Yeah.
So really, there kind of would be a private hire for that day. And do you have a minimum kind of spend or a minimum booking?
No, it's just 40 people. 40 people. And yeah, it's just a minimum of booking of 40 people. And then what I generally do is, if it is any further than 3 hours, or it's further than I think it's going to be, then I just add on the cost of the trailer hire to get there. And if there's an overnight stay, then I'll add that on.
Yeah.
But generally, it's usually within 3 hours, and people are quite happy with that.
Tia, just tell me, what's your favourite ice cream?
My favourite ice cream has to be the salty caramel. Salty caramel butter. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely lovely. So, yeah.
And is it
and the Mr. Whippy, actually. The Mr. Whippy. The Mr. Whippy as well. Yeah, it can't beat
your 99 plates.
Yeah, the 99s and stuff. You can't beat a good Mr. Whippy.
Perfect. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for talking with us today, and just to find out a little bit more about you and your beautiful truck. I was trying to say truck really, because she's a beautiful van, isn't she? She's very big.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to find out a little bit more or contact Tia just to check her availability and see if she can travel to your venue, then you can find her on Vintage Ice Cream on our page, and at the bottom is a contact form, and it will directly go through to Tia, and she can be able to get back to you as soon as she can. So thank you again, Tia, for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.